Hey guys, welcome back. This is Summer again from Alibaba Cloud Database Product Team. Last week, my colleague Demai had already introduced how to migrate your AWS RDS PostgreSQL to Alibaba Cloud RDS PostgreSQL. Use AWS DMS or use Alibaba Cloud DTS. Did you learn anything from the videos? This week, we are focused on MySQL migration. And in this video, we will migrate a user-created MySQL cluster to RDS MySQL high availability editions. Well, before we start, let's build the testing environment altogether. As you can see on my screen, there are two ECS. And we are going to use these two ECS to build the source environment to migrate. Well, let's begin. First, connect to the ECS. Well, as you can see, it's totally clean. So we need to install the MySQL server first. This is a host MySQL 1, and we also have another host MySQL 2 to build the secondary node. First, to install MySQL server on the primary node. Yeah. Here we install MySQL Server 8.0. Well, it's done. Let's see. Yeah, and let's see service name. The service name is MySQL D. Let's start MySQL D service. See the process is running now, and let's log on to the MySQL and do the initiating author user. As you can see, we're changing the password for root. Also, because we're going to build a cluster, so we also need a test user to do the replication. So let's create a user. Create user. Let's take rep test and set it to be accessed from everywhere. Identified. And grant replication slave to the user. And let's use MySQL and select host user from user. Here we already have a rep test. The remote access is on, and the flush privileges. Then quit. Change the MySQL configurations. Set a server ID. Let's set 100. And to enable Binlog, log bin MySQL bin. Save and quit. Then we need to restart the service. Let's log on to the database again. Use our new password. And it works. Set server ID again and select from the database. Show variables like server ID. Yeah, it's 100. Then quit. Change another user. Do you remember we have already created a user for replication, right? Let's use it. Yeah, we have already into the database. Quit. Then we also need to install MySQL Server on the other node because these two ECS are totally clean. Okay, let's connect to the ECS first. Yes. Again, install MySQL. MySQL Server. And start the service. Log on to the MySQL database and initiate MySQL author user. You can set the password here. Let's set the same. And then flush privileges. Then quit. And again, change the MySQL configurations. Do you remember? First, set a server ID 101. The server ID of the secondary node should be different from the primary node. So because the primary node is 100, so we set the secondary node to 101. Okay, and then enable the Binlog MySQL bin. Save and quit. Restart the service again. Restart. And log on to the database again. Use the new password. And show databases. It should be very clean because we just install it. Quit. Then let's try to connect to the primary node from the secondary node. This is a primary node. MySQL H, the host, and user rep test. Well, the connection is accepted. Then quit. Now switch to the primary node and log on to the database again. Then show databases and show primary master status. we less a s. Master. Okay, we got the position right now. Now, log on to the secondary node and also set the global server ID to 101 and select the value. Well, as you can see, the secondary node server ID is 101. Then let's set the master for the secondary node. Change master to master host equals. Let's get the internal IP address for this primary node. It's here. And master user equals. This should be the user for replication. It's rep test. And master password for rep test. And master log file equals this one. Last one, we need to set the master log position. Log position equals 156. Okay, then start slave. And show slave status. If we see the slave IO running and the slave C code running, both are yes, it means the primary and the secondary node are set successfully. Time to generate some data to test. Here we go. Create a database on the primary node and show databases. Test data. Let's see in the secondary node databases. Oh, so fast. It's already here. Test data. And then create some table and insert data. Okay, let's use test data and create table. Let's create a table named app user. Okay, and insert some data into the table. Let's see how many rows do we have now. 7. Let's see on the secondary node. Use test data first and show tables. Check the schema for the app user. Yes, we have 3 columns here, and select count from app user. 7, the same. The data has already synced to the secondary node. And select all from app user. Alright, as you can see, all the data has already synced to the secondary node. Let's do more testing. Now we're creating a procedure on primary database. Okay, let's create another database first. Create database cars, show databases, and use cars. Delimiter change to $, and create procedure proc test. Begin. First, create a table, and then insert some data into the table, and end $. Then delimiter change the delimiter to be normal, and then show procedure status. Yeah, this is a procedure we just created. And then execute it. First, let's see how many databases we have right now. And use car. Show tables. By now we have 0 tables in database cars. Let's run the procedure. Proc test. It's already executed. Show tables now. Yeah. Select data from brands. There should be 3 lines. Yes, we have got it. And let's see the secondary node. Show databases. You have already synced, and use cars. Show tables. And show procedure status. Okay, as you can see, all the data, including new tables and new records or new procedures, have already synced to the secondary nodes. And that's all for the testing pairing part. Then let's go to migration part.